Hello and welcome back to Brentford Fan TV. We're talking about our first game of pre-season, happened yesterday away in Portugal, and yeah, I think it started well. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, the game of course did start well, but just so happy that we finally got the season off and running now.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the off season. Kind of live for Brentford, but
Yeah.
no, it was good to see the squad out there. See Keith Andrews in charge for the first time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, overall it was a good game. But yeah, so we started well. I'd say we definitely controlled the first half mainly. We definitely were creating chances early on, and they didn't really have anything other than counter-attacks, and so
Yeah.
I'd say a good first half.
Yeah, and it makes sense. We started most of our starting lineup, our full strength side for the first half, and like all being probably Jaden Magoma at left back. I'd say is the only non-starter playing in the first half. Yeah, of course, it was interesting to see how we'd fill the right wing spot without Mbeumo, but Carvalho seemed to play there. He played pretty well, filling a different sort of role to Mbeumo.
I thought Carvalho did really well yesterday. As you said, different role. He was a lot more inverted than Brian Mbeumo. I know Mbeumo, he'd start out wide and he'll bring the ball in, but Carvalho sort of came more central before even to receive the ball instead of starting wide, and I guess sort of created more opportunity for Coyote to overlap. But yeah, I mean, it was the first time that Keith Andrews really set up the team in a game, so who's to say what we saw is going to be what happens during the season?
Yeah,
but it's definitely good to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you think of the 1-0 goal then?
I thought, to be honest, it was a bad mistake from Sepp. But I think because it's first game of pre-season, all the players have been out of it, need warming up. I think it's an excusable mistake. I don't think it will happen in the season. Yeah, it's just a few. I think it's more just getting used to playing with the team again. That's really the problem.
Yeah, it was just a bit slow on the ball, I thought.
Yeah.
Didn't make his mind up when he did have time. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. But then pretty quickly after, we turned it around and we got our goal, which was, a really good goal.
Yeah, it was a great team goal. Started out wide with Sharda. He passed it in. Then to Damsgaard and a cross goal for an easy tap in Thiago. So it's great. We're setting up those sort of triangles, sort of with Sharda, Damsgaard, and Thiago, making it a very easy goal. In the end,
a lot of good interplay that we could see on display there, which is always a good sign. But I guess that was the only goal that we did score in the game. So I'm sure there'll be more to come against QPR away. But something I quite liked actually from the first half was sort of seeing the partnership of Henderson and Jensen at CDM. Obviously, losing Norgard is a massive loss, Henderson, it does appear, will be the man who's sort of going to be the person to fill in. The only really out-and-out CDM in our team other than Janouch, who's recovering from an injury. So, but I thought Henderson did well. It was his first sort of minutes in a long time. He didn't play too much last season. But I thought he did well. He linked up well with Jensen and a few other players. And so I know for a lot of fans, including myself, we've definitely downgraded from last season if we're going to Henderson Jensen. Of course, the Yarmouk who played in the second half will probably fill in more in the season, say for Jensen or Hendo. But I definitely think it's a bit of a downgrade having that as a CDM partnership. But I thought they did well yesterday.
There was a slight scare with Jensen. He went down injured, but he was fine to continue. So not really much to talk about there.
Yeah, and so that was sort of it for the first half. Of course, we then switched up fully for the second half, playing a completely different team, and it was definitely took them a good 10 minutes to get up to pace in the second half. I mean, it's understandable because Gil Vicente, however you say it, they only had about 16 players to play, so they had their full strength starting 11, and they didn't make subs until about the 60th minute. So it makes sense they were still full strength and weaker than to the second team, albeit there were some experienced players in there, or first team players.
Yeah, there were a lot of young players in that starting lineup. I think the only bits of experience really were the defence. We had Hickey, Rico Henry, I forgot his name for a second, and Aya in the defence, and then the rest was a bit more youngsters and
Yeah.
bench players.
I mean, then Yarmulke and Kino Spot.
Oh yeah, of course.
That brought a bit of something to the attack. But yeah, I thought it took us a good 10 minutes to even get into the second half, which was, you could say, slightly disappointing. And then, I mean, we'll come back to the Nunes injury. But then, Nunes, after his injury, Donovan came on, and he was actually a massive spark for us in the second half. And so, maybe he'll get some opportunities this season and really prove himself.
Yeah.
But, I think the Nunes injury is probably a good place to start. How do you feel about that?
I just think it's a shame that it seems to always happen in pre-season. We lose a player for injury. I think in last season, first game, pre-season, Igor Thiago got injured. Now, Gustavo Nunes. Yeah, it's we need more depth in that attacking area, really.
Yeah, definitely.
And it really shows that with this injury. But again, Donovan just came up from the B team as well, so he played really well. And it's good to see those young attacking players who come on with energy and just they're there to prove themselves.
Yeah. I think you said it. It's really disappointing to see Nunes go off injured. You know, he missed basically the entirety of last season through injury. Keith Andrews said in an interview that he even came back from holiday a bit early, you know, to get up to match fitness, you know, work on his pre-season. And so it's really unfortunate that he's pulled his hamstring after 10 minutes of playing. From nothing. He was just running along, maybe a change of direction, and he's just pulled a hamstring. So it's really unfortunate because, you know, that's a player we spent 10, 15 million pounds on.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate.
Yeah, hopefully the physios can do a good job and hopefully he becomes less injury prone, but so far it seems seems that way.
Yeah. Some players that I was, impressed by, I'd say, in the second half because, you know, obviously it wasn't full strength, and so when it's not a full strength team, it's easy to see those individuals in the second half really sort of stand out. And the player I was most, impressed by in the second half was Aaron Hickey, actually. You know, a player who hasn't played in over a year and a half. It's so good to finally see him back, injury free. He looked free. He didn't look like he was trying to not risk anything. You know, he was strong in tackles. He was good on the ball going forward. He had a few marauding runs, a bit like Cody does. But I was really happy to see him.
Yeah, and hopefully that means that he'll be back. He'll be playing the football he was before he was injured, and he'd be in the starting lineup every week. So
it's definitely possible. I mean, there's now a lot more depth at fullback now than when he initially got injured. So it's going to be difficult for him to get in the team. But I guess he's got the adaptability to play on both sides going for him.
Yeah, he's played left back before with Bologna, so we could see him play there and Coyote on right back. Yeah, but we've still got a few games pre-season, so we'll see how Andrews lines up with these players.
Still feels weird just saying Andrews.
Yeah,
he should be Thomas Frank, but and then player who I was slightly disappointed by in the second half was Kino Spotter, actually. You know, he's just off the back of, you could say, a breakthrough season. You know, he played pretty much every game. He made that left back his own role. You know, he did well defensively. He brought threat going forward, and it was really good for the team. Yesterday he played on the left wing, and I felt like he hardly touched the ball. I can only think of him getting on the ball a few times, which was really surprising to me because I felt like there was a lot more experience in the left back in Rico Henry, left centre mid in Yarmulke, and the left wing in KLP compared to the right hand side that had a lot more youth and inexperienced players. But it was those players like Hickey who really stood out, and Donovan who really brought the game to Gil Vicente. And so I don't know what's really up with that, but I sort of hope for a bit better from Kino Spotter.
Yeah, and as I was saying, he played really well last season at left back. And to be honest, I felt like in some games last season, even though he was at left back, he was playing brilliantly attacking. So yeah, it's strange to see, but we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it sort of makes me think, how are we going to set up next season
Yeah,
in the attack? Because, I mean, yeah, we haven't even replaced Brian and Burmo. There's the possibility of Wissa leaving, of course.
yeah,
I have a feeling that nothing actually will happen, and he will stay. And of course, if he does stay, you know, that makes it a lot better, because he can play up front, he can play on the left.
Yeah,
So,
he's very versatile.
Yeah, so, you know, we'll have a bit more depth, presuming Wissa stays, but I think next season, Keenan Potter could really struggle to get minutes in the front three, unless he gets put at left back again and we become even more attacking with him there.
But then again, we've now got so much better squad depth in the left back and right back positions, so I don't think he'll need to play there anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know. It could be a difficult season for Keenan Potter. Obviously, injury to other people could help him get a breakthrough like last season, but we'll see what happens. But overall, I think a lot to learn from yesterday. Yeah. Good to see people back out there, especially for me, Aaron Hickey. So happy to have seen him play. Anything else to say?
Yeah, I just think, it seems like, honestly, I'm more positive about Keith Andrews being our manager. I feel like it's put a bit of hope back in Brentford.
I don't know.
I think it's just the tactically the first half it was great.
But that was pretty much full strength Premier League side compared to lower table Portuguese team. So I think, but they might have had a game or two already. And that was our first game of pre-season. So you're not even supposed to look into pre-season too much anyway.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean anything. We could lose every game in pre-season and win our first 3 in the Premier League. Yeah,
it's hopefully we could get more of an insight Keith Andrews' play style in the next few pre-season games. But
so bring on QPR.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching very much. Leave a comment, and we'll see you next video.
Yeah.